If you're finding chemistry so difficult, you're on the right channel. Today, I'll be starting from the introduction to chemistry, which we are going to simplify chemistry to the lowest point. And for those of you that are new on this channel, do well to subscribe. Now, this channel, we deal on chemistry for students, high-level students, year 1, year 2, and if you're a JAMB, you're on the right place because we treat JAMB very well concerning the past question, and you'll be able to write your exam and have a good grade. I am Chemist Christopher. On this video lesson, we'll be talking about the introduction to chemistry. We'll talk about matter, the properties of matter, which has to do with the intensive and the extensive properties of matter, and we'll go further to talk about changes that occurs in matter, which is what the physical change and the chemical change. Now, do well to watch this video lesson to the end, and if you have not subscribed, subscribe on our YouTube channel and click on the notification buttons so that you will get more of our videos and we'll post concerning chemistry. We'll be starting from the introduction to chemistry, as we earlier said. Now, the first thing we'll be talking about, let's define chemistry, which is the definition of chemistry. Now, chemistry is defined as a branch of pure science, that deals with the composition, properties, uses of matter, and the changes it undergoes. So, chemistry is a branch of pure science that deals with the composition, the properties, the uses of matter, and the changes it undergoes. Now, one thing you have to know that we have the 3 major science subjects, which is the physics, we have the chemistry, and we have the biology. These 3, they all study what? Matter. Physics has to do with the energetic part of matter. That means they study matter in relation to what? Energy and motions. While the biology studies the living part of matter, and here we have chemistry that studies what? The properties, the function, the uses of matter, and the changes matter undergoes. Now, one thing you have to know that a person that studies chemistry is known as a chemist. So, I'm a chemist. Now, the next thing we'll be talking about is the usefulness of chemistry. Now, what is on earth that is not chemistry? If we talk about the glass, that's chemistry. There's cement used in building of house, that's chemistry. Chemistry has contributed a lot to our society. The manufacture of iron, in the agricultural industry, there's chemistry in the medical industry. So chemistry has provided a lot of facilities, a lot of development to our society. So chemistry is very useful. Even in the purification of water, the water we drink today, they are purified via chemistry, using of chemicals like we have chlorine that kills germs, fluorine, iodine that also helps in the treatment of goiter. Now, we'll rush down and we're talking about matter. Now, what is matter? Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Matter is anything that has mass and occupy space. Now we have properties of matter. Number one, the properties of matter. The properties of matter. We have one, it occupies space. Number two, it has mass. Number three, it possesses inertia, which means matter can move or stop moving. So this is what the properties of what matter. I said one, it has occupied space, it has mass, it possesses inertia, which is it can move or it can stop what moving. Now let's talk about the intensive and the extensive properties of matter. Now, in extensive properties of matter is the properties of matter that is dependent on the quantity of the matter. Example, we have the mass. Mass is an extensive property of matter. We have the extensive. So I said extensive properties of matter. These are I said extensive properties of matter. This is the property that depend on the quantity of the matter. Example, we have mass, we have volume, we have length. Now, what is mass? Mass can be defined as the quantity of matter contained in a body. I said mass can be defined as what? The quantity of matter contained in a body. What we'll be talking about is the intensive property of matter. The intensive properties of matter. The intensive properties of matter is the properties of matter that do not depend on the quantity of the matter. Example, we have the pH, we have the EMF of a cell, we also have the pH, the EMF, we have the color, etc. All of these, they are what? Intensive properties of matter. They do not depend on the quantity of matter. Now, if we have the mass, the larger the substance or the matter, the higher the mass. While for a color, a little drop of color is still the same color. If we have a red color, maybe this marker, for instance, if I do this, it's still black, and if I have one like this, it's still black. It does not depend on the quantity of what? The matter. While for extensive property, if I have maybe a beaker and this is calibrated, let's say, and I have another beaker. Now, the volume of water will depend on the amount of water I add. So that's what an extensive properties of matter. It depends on the quantity of what? The matter. Now, let's move on to physical and chemical change. Now, what is a physical change? Now, a physical change, it is one which is easily reversible and no new substance is formed. So I said the physical change. It is one which is easily reversible and no new substance is formed. Example of physical change, number one, we have the melting of ice. The melting of ice, it is easily reversible. We have ice. Ice is the solid form of water. So if I met ice, I'll say I have water. No new substance is being what? Formed. We also have boiling of water. We have number 3, magnetization and demagnetization of iron. Now, if I have a magnet and an iron and I put it together and I separate it again, that's magnetization and what? Demagnetization of iron. There is no chemical change to that. It is what? Easily what? Reversible, and no new substance is what? Formed. Now, I'll move on to the chemical change. The chemical change is one which is not easily reversible and new substance is formed. I said the chemical change is one which is easily reversible and new substance is formed. For example, we have a chemical change. Examples of chemical change. Number 1, we have the solution of metals in water. That is, if I add a metal in water, I'm going to have sodium oxide plus hydrogen gas. This is a chemical change because a new substance is formed and hydrogen gas is being what? Produced. Another one is rusting of iron. This is what? A chemical change. Now, the chemical name for rust is brown hydrated iron 3 oxide. I said the chemical name for rust is brown hydrated iron 3 oxide. And it has the formula of Fe2O3.5 H2O, I guess you can say XH2O. This is what? The chemical formula for what? Rust. Now, this is what? A chemical change. Now, we also have number 3, burning of candle wax. This is a JAMB question. Now, most of you will say burning of candle wax is still reversible now. Now, burning of candle wax is an example of a chemical change. Why? A candle wax is an organic compound. Now, organic compounds, they're born in air. Organic compounds, they're born in oxygen. In the presence of oxygen, O2. Sorry, we have X plus Y over 4 O2 to form XCO2 plus Y over 2 H2O. So this is what an organic compound, and candle wax is what? An organic compound. So burning of candle wax is an example of what? A chemical change. Now, if you find this video helpful, do well to like and subscribe. Click the notification button if you have subscribed already. And for those of you that are new on this channel, please do well to subscribe for our upcoming video that will be talking about writing and balancing of chemical equation. And we'll also tell you about ions, because if you don't know how to use their ions, you also don't know how to balance the chemical equation. So do well to subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. I remain Chemist.